right, welcome back to InsideFlix. We're going to be doing our weekly box office report. Rich, tell us what films made the top 5 at the box office this past weekend.
The number 1 film in America is Elvis. Came in with 31 million. Number 2 was in a tight race this weekend was Top Gun Maverick, which did an impressive 29 million plus. Number 3 was Jurassic World Dominion with 26.7 million. And number 4 was Ethan Hawke's with The Black Phone with 23.6 million. And Lightyear, the disappointment from Disney Pixar, came in number 5 with 18.1 million.
Yes, I was way off with Elvis because I thought this was going to double that money. I thought this was going to be kind of a new kind of box office phenomenon, kind of like in the vein of Bohemian Rhapsody. It's almost the same opening as Rocket Man. What's your guys' feelings of Elvis? Was this a good number?
To me, this is kind of exactly what I was expecting. I'm just more shocked that you were actually expecting Elvis to make $60 million. Like, where did that come from? Like, Bohemian Rhapsody is like just one of those rare things that I think someone must have like sold their soul to the devil or something for that movie to have been as successful as it did and to even win Oscars.
Well, I believe the hype surrounding Elvis. You know, mostly it was well promoted. Mm-hmm. It was aggressively.
It was just Instagram people that were hot for Austin Butler.
Well, yeah, it was aggressively promoted to younger audiences. Yes, and I guess in most cases, younger audiences wouldn't care about Elvis, but I thought the filmmakers behind this movie and the campaign behind the movie kind of went out of their way to kind of modernize and kind of
they did
mythicize the life and music career of Elvis. And I thought for sure that was going to attract more moviegoers. You know, the type of moviegoers who not normally see these types of musical biopics.
They tried.
Do you think the Tom Hanks in makeup hurt?
I think Tom Hanks is just one of those actors that can't really get hurt by something like this now.
Yeah.
I don't think it had a negative effect. And I've actually seen a lot of people praise his performance, but I've also seen a lot of negative comments about it. It's a little mixed, but there's a lot of people still defending him.
Yeah, I think the problem with Elvis is just Elvis as a icon. I mean, as a musical icon, he's a little too old for younger audiences.
But it still managed to do more than Rocket Man, right?
Yes, it did. Yes.
What I'm trying to say is I think 30 million is really good.
Yeah, I think 30 million.
I think it's a really good number.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty decent number, but I thought it was going to be this kind of cultural phenomenon like something like Bohemian Rhapsody, but it isn't.
Yeah, Elvis the movie itself is doing okay in domestic. I mean, it came in number 1, so that's a plus. I mean, it was really tight with Top Gun Maverick.
Let's get into some Top Gun Maverick because this is kind of this is a strange, insane kind of phenomenon movie because it was almost number 1. I mean,
domestically it's 520 million, and internationally it's just under with 486, and it surpassed 1 billion worldwide this week.
Yeah, and less than a 34% drop. And also, it should be mentioned that the Blu-ray for the first Top Gun is also selling really well. It's like the 3rd best-selling Blu-ray out right now. You know, with comparing to like new releases that just came out on Blu-ray, like Morbius and Batman. So like Top Gun, like really. Like the phenomenon of this movie is just insane, and I'm curious if all the people like picking up Top Gun, the original, on Blu-ray for the first time are going to end up being disappointed because Maverick is surprisingly a fantastic film, but that original Top Gun is not very good.
It doesn't hold up. It doesn't hold up. But I would say Top Gun Maverick is kind of an anomaly because this doesn't really happen. It rarely happens at the box office, and I would say probably the last time I seen anything like this was since Titanic, where that movie had an enormous amount of staying power, and Top Gun Maverick is just proving that it's staying forever. It has this and people want to go back and watch that for a second, third, fourth, and maybe fifth, sixth time. So it's something, and it's really connecting with audiences, and it's having some kind of impact with the culture.
It's great, it's fantastic. I kind of want to see the movie again just because it's having so much success.
Sure.
What is about the movie that's connecting to audiences?
Well, you know what I think it is. I think a lot of it has to do with just people being tired of a lot of these kind of blockbuster movies, and especially because a lot of these blockbuster movies, like the scripts are really bad for them. Like you have Jurassic World Dominion in theaters, Lightyear, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. These are awful movies. And I think that that has a big effect because I think people are starting to like catch on with Disney, and people are starting to realize that Universal doesn't give a crap, about their franchises like Jurassic World and Fast and the Furious. Like no one's putting any effort in their screenplays. And Top Gun Maverick, while it's a pretty safe movie, it's solid. It's very well written. It's what a legacy sequel should be, and Marvel should take note because I mean they don't really give a crap about their sequels anymore.
But let's get to Black Phone, the number 4.
Let's talk about Black Phone and their numbers. And Rich, tell us about what they did over the weekend.
Yeah, it came in number 4th place with 23.6 million domestic. Internationally, only made 12.9 million. So worldwide tally is 36.6 million. It's got a fairly good a good audience score with Rotten Tomatoes, and it might have staying power.
Yeah, I'm very curious what the drop is going to be for this movie. If it has like a very small drop, I mean, fantastic. It's going to be in theaters for a while. I mean, my favorite horror movie so far this year has been X, and that bombed. So it's nice. It's nice to see that at least horror films are still making money, and this is kind of what you would expect like a good horror film to make. It's nice that people are coming out and support it.
Okay, and then let's talk about the biggest drop of the week with a 64.1 drop was Lightyear.
I think it's safe to say that the biggest box office disappointment of the summer is Lightyear.
Domestically, it's made so far 89.2 million. Internationally, is not faring as well. It was 63.6 million. So worldwide tally 152.8 million.
We were just speaking before recording that it's very strange that Disney kind of decided to put this in theaters and that this wasn't a Disney Plus release, because what they should have released in theaters was Turning Red.
Yes, because Turning Red is definitely geared for younger audiences or younger kids, I should say, and it would be perfect for the summer.
I've seen Turning Red and Lightyear, and while I didn't think Turning Red was perfect, it definitely lacked a lot of originality and had a pretty lackluster third act. I think it was a much better than Lightyear. I think Lightyear is like honestly probably Pixar's worst. Mm-hmm. I think personally it's worse than Cars 2. I don't understand how anybody can give this movie a pass and praise it.
Yeah, but regardless, I mean, I totally expect this one to be the children's event of the summer, but it didn't even get 20 million plus this weekend, and every other film on this week made over 20 million.
No, I want to bring something up because I have been seeing like a lot of people like talking about the failure of Lightyear, and I see a lot of people trying to say that the reason the movie is not doing well is because of Chris Evans, and I personally I don't think that has anything to do with it. I don't think people even like know who's voicing Lightyear, and maybe I'm sure if like Tim Allen came back, it would have made a little more just because it would have felt a bit more like Toy Story, I guess. But I really don't think that you could have put Tom Cruise there and it would have still bombed.
They failed. It definitely failed.
Yeah, Rich, can you give us the rest of the top 10?
Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness came in number 6 with 1.7 million. Number 7 is Jug Jug Geo, an Indian film that in only 318 theaters, I guess. Number 8 was Everything Everywhere All at Once. Number 9 is the Bob's Burgers movie, and number 10 is The Bad Guys.
All right, let's look at what movies are coming out this Friday.
Okay, Minions: The Rise of Gru, and that's coming out wide. And also saying they're coming out wide, it's Bleecker Street's new rom-com period piece, Mr. Malcolm's List.
I've never heard of that.
That's a period, a costume rom-com, kind of in the vein of Bridgerton, I guess. Minions. This is another installment of the Despicable Me franchise. I guess I have to say that this is going to be number 1, right?
Yeah, probably. But but the thing that's kind of curious about this movie is this has been ready for a long time. Like this was, I think, supposed to come out before the pandemic. I know that like Minions was a huge hit, and like all the Despicable movies have been very successful. But I don't know. Maybe it's just me because like it's been such a long time since Minions came out. But do people still care?
I think so. I think
kids still care.
I think it's like, the thing is, it plays into that kind of really absurdist type of silly comedy that young kids really like. They fart, they make noises, they don't talk, they speak gibberish. That kind of stuff just kind of are just like catnip to kids.
I know what you're saying, but that's like I guess for small children that will go with their families and stuff. But put it this way: the last Minions made 115, almost 116 million opening weekend, huge hit, and ended up making over $1 billion, massive hit. No, I wouldn't be surprised if this makes half.
It's going to be. I think it's going to be a low weekend anyway. People are going to be just staying home, getting ready for 4th of July on Monday, I believe.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of families are going to stay home. And also you got to take in the fact that gas prices are high. Families are cutting down on what they see on the movie theaters. And I think that maybe that's another reason why Lightyear didn't do so well either. But also I don't think Minions is going to be over 100 million. I think it's just going to be somewhere around, I guess, 50.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to make that much.
I think there's going to be another close weekend between Top Gun and Minions.
I mean, I don't know. I think Minions is going to make at least 30 million opening weekend. So I mean, in order for that to happen, Top Gun would have to have like a 0% drop.
You got a good
point. I think Minions is guaranteed number one, unless if it's truly like a straight up bomb and only makes like 20 million. And I'd be shocked if that happens, because 30 million is going to be like, I think, a franchise low. And that's kind of where I'm expecting. It might make 35. It's going to do similar to Elvis, I think.
Yeah, but it's like you said, it's been a long time since Minions, and so far I haven't seen that much advertising and all that. So
one thing I will say is, every time I'm in the movie theater and that Minions trailer pops up, people go crazy, including adults. Like, they're laughing their asses off, and people love it.
I guess that's it, right? Okay, that's our thoughts on this weekend's box office. We'll be back next week to see the results of Minions and see if it lands at number one. Okay, thank you for watching InsideFlix. We'll be back next week.